Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna. So welcome everybody to our little workshop here. First time I'm playing one of these. Kind of interesting device. So, more people going to attend, or that's it? Or there's more people outside?
More people right there, I think.
Yeah, can you invite them in? Because
Das Seminar beginnt jetzt. Wer möchte noch kommen? Ja,
just now coming.
Just now coming.
Just now coming. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So they once asked Charlie Chaplin, what's the secret of your success? How many of you know who Charlie Chaplin is? If not, you had a miserable childhood. And you have to go and watch Charlie Chaplin. So, Charlie Chaplin was the most famous comedian of his time. And he started out in the time which were called silent movies. There was no audio. It was just acting. And as you know, if you can't use your voice, have you ever done that? You have to demonstrate something without speaking, just by acting. Have you ever done that as a play? Yeah? It's not that easy sometimes to figure out what is this person trying to communicate, right? So he was the best of his time. He said 50% of your success is showing up at the right place at the right time. You want to know what the other 50% are? Do you want to know?
Yes.
Yeah? I'm going to tell you, even if you don't want to know. That is being enthusiastic. Enthusiasm means, according to Srila Prabhupada's definition of the verse of the Upadeshamrita, to endeavor with intelligence in Krishna consciousness. That's Prabhupada's definition of enthusiasm. It's there in the purport of that verse. You can read it. And if you come to a seminar, it's allowed, it's permissible to use a paper and a pen. Otherwise, you can use your phone or your photographic memory. But the phone is always a bit of a distraction. So, we're going to have this little workshop today. And first of all, my name is Navina Nirada. I was born near Zurich, Switzerland, and I joined this in 1984. At the age of 15, successfully dropped out of school, much to the disappointment of my parents, and joined the Sankirtan movement of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So, we're going to talk a little bit about Sankirtan. We're also going to talk about book distribution, and we have some special guests from the Erasmus program. Thank you for joining us on such short notice. Thank you for dropping all the important things you have to do and being here. We truly appreciate your presence. Now, this is a rather small group. We can keep it very interactive and lively. So before I get started, I would like to know, what is your expectation of today? Because I already know how the sound of my own voice sounds, so I would like to know what is it that you want to hear about and learn. You can just give me one thing. I need a scribe, somebody with legible handwriting. You can write down here. Expectations. Is that correct?
No.
No, but you get the idea.
We see.
Huh?
Please.
Who has got a legible handwriting? You?
Yeah, I can try for.
You can try, okay. So, X, big, that happens when you
X on the group.
get visitations.
X.
Okay. Do you ever get text messages that you can't understand what people are trying to write to you? Does that ever happen to you? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not the only one. Especially from my daughter. Okay. Sounds better. All right, what are your expectations? Give me one expectation.
I want to distribute Srila Prabhupada books. I mean, whatever people say on the street, without disappointment, without more motivation, I want to distribute.
Okay, motivation and no disappointment. All right?
How to approach people, what you say in the first few seconds.
Okay. Point number 2. Approach and mantras means what to say.
Maybe like management in ISKCON.
Okay? Management. You know, whenever I land in an airport, it's really funny. They pick me up, believe it or not, sometimes they do pick me up. And then I ask them, so what's going on here? And what do we need to change? And you know what they usually say? You have to get rid of management. And I say, really? That's a really great idea. So are you going to do it? Are you going to be the manager? They say, no, but we have to get rid of management. We have to get rid of everybody. Have you ever heard that brilliant idea?
Yes.
It's a great idea, right? Okay. Management in ISKCON. There's no right or wrongs. It's just whatever comes to your mind, that's what you want to hear about today. And I guarantee you, we will talk about it. No, we're right here. You come later. Wait your turn. All right. What's your expectation? I mean, you're sitting here not just to pass time and, wait for lunch, but...
I mean, you mentioned a few things yesterday that sounded interesting, so I want to...
Which things sounded interesting? Which
Yeah, as she said,
words?
like management in ISKCON and with the book distributing, and I want to know both of it. So.
Okay. We already have management and book distribution. What else? Like something personal. What gets you excited?
Nothing mentioned was in it.
Okay. Maybe you can still come up. You can still add it.
For myself, like overall, I did a similar job to book distribution already, fundraising, and for me it's interesting to see what you do and how you do it
Okay.
in comparison.
All right. So fundraising in, and in relation to BD. You can just write BD/BD. Okay. Thank you.
Leadership and whether everyone in ISKCON should be a leader or in some way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Leadership. All right.
Leadership.
Yeah.
Finding our place and balance between spiritual life and material life and integration, like how to integrate our duties, material duties.
Thank you. How to put that? Finding balance. Balance, just put balance. And then in brackets you can put different duties.
How to improve, to propagate the movement of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Okay. expand the movement. Okay.
More improve also myself in because I distribute some books, so I want also
Improve in which way? What do you want to improve?
how to talk with people and how to give them knowledge.
You want to talk more, or you want to distribute more books? Or you want to
Yeah,
get more
I want
money, or what do you want?
Yeah, I want to distribute more and more people.
Okay. Increase scores.
I want to learn how to distribute books and how to preach to Indian guests of our temple
Okay.
properly, so that Prabhupada is pleased.
You just put Indians. Or Deshis.
How to develop leadership skills in the Sankirtan movement, and how to distribute books selflessly.
Okay, leadership skills. And then bracket selflessness. That's where to start.
In brackets, Prabhu?
Selflessness.
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 Oh.
How to develop the right inner mood to be convincing or inspiring for others on the street.
Yeah.
Okay, inner mood. You can just add it somewhere. We just put it all in one. It'd be a nice work of art here.
Inner mood?
Inner mood, yes.
How to deal with people.
In which everything is dealing with people. In which regards?
In a compassionate manner, or to address them where they are, to see the people and not only my business. And I want to distribute a certain number of books.
Okay.
Mm.
Communication skills?
Communication, being personal.
Sure.
Yeah.
Thank you. Rupa?
How to go out of Krishna's plan.
How do?
Go out of Krishna's plan.
Out?
Don't stay.
You don't like Krishna's plan.
No, I like Krishna's plan.
You want to get your own thing going here.
Yeah.
You want to hijack the whole thing.
Yes.
Recruit a few people for your plan.
Exactly.
Everybody come to Münster and do what I do. Join his catering team. All right?
Exactly.
All right.
No, we talked today in the morning about that sometimes we stay between Krishna and the mercy, so we can't keep the mercy away. So my question is how we can go out of this, how we can let the mercy flow and don't block the mercy.
Okay. How to get out of the way? Just put it there in the corner.
How to?
Oh, you already made a box down there. How to, you don't have to write, everything is how to. Just get out of the way.
Get out of the way.
Or remember. Yes. Prabhuji, your expectation of the course.
How to be more focused.
Okay, focus. You can work with, just bullet points, just keywords. Because people's attention span is very short, so keywords, okay? Your expectation of today.
Motivation, but that's written already. I think
Okay, something else?
Inspiration.
Inspiration.
Determination.
Determination, okay, and all of the good stuff. All right. That's fine.
Focus.
Focus is good. You have something?
Covered, Prabhuji. It's one
Covered.
is balance,
Okay.
and second thing is like how to stop them so that I can say a few words and yeah.
Okay. Stopping is in the approach, but you can still put it
Yes.
underneath the approach. Stopping.
Because whenever you take a book, they say, it's okay, we don't need it, so we know something like that.
Okay. Thank you. That's a great work of art. All right. That's what we're going to talk about today. Yes.
Be more personal.
Be more personal. Okay. All right, so this is what we're going to talk about today. This is the menu for today. If we don't talk about this, then whose fault is it?
Yours.
My fault? Huh? His fault? Her fault?
Krishna's plan.
Krishna's plan? Somebody hijacked Krishna's plan? Whose fault is it?
Time.
Our fault. As a group, we take responsibility for what's happening here in this classroom, okay? So if I go on and I tell stuff that's not related to this, then feel free to say, hey, you're off track. Like, this is not what we came for, all right? Okay, good. So there's some good stuff here. Now, we don't have student handbooks because they don't do those things in Germany, you know, they're already beyond student handbooks. But there was a 5-day course on book distribution. It's called the graduate course. You can look it up, and I will give you the URL where you can download your free copy, your free student handbook. But we're not going to do this right now. Otherwise, you're just going to be scrolling. And you already have been doing enough scrolling in your life, right? So you can focus. You don't have a student handbook right now because this is just the 1-day essence of the 5-day course. I understand it's a primer. It's just, you know, to get you started on the whole idea. Before you start any project, what's the first thing you do?
Gather requirements.
Research.
Requirements, research.
Organization, everything.
Strategic plan.
The goal.
The goal. Any other idea?
Ask for blessings.
Ah! Hare Krishna! Hare Krishna! Krishna Krishna! Hare Hare! Hare Rama! Hare Rama! Rama Rama! Hare Hare! Asking for blessing means prayer. A prayer has 3 components. It's, oh Lord, you're so great. I am so fallen. Please give me. Please help me. I need some mercy. I need some blessings. I tell people on the street that, do you need all these books, or can you just put it on the table? It would be nicer, because I need these books. I tell people that this is for the people who already know everything, but they haven't figured anything out. You know? In German say this, wir die alles wissen, aber nichts gecheckt haben. You ever meet people like that, who know everything, but they can't figure anything out? You know some people like that? So there's a thing which is called paralysis by analysis, that you go too much into thinking and overthinking mode. Anybody overthinks here?
Yes.
We got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, thank you for your honesty. And oftentimes nothing happens because you just get mental constipation and you can't actually start acting. So it's good to think, but don't overthink. How you can prevent yourself from overthinking? The first is become a master asker. You have to learn the art of asking questions. And you can write this down. He who asks the questions controls the conversation. Just like I ask you, what are your expectations? I'm controlling the conversation. You're doing all the talking, but I'm controlling the conversation. So if you learn how to ask questions, you can control any conversation. Have you noticed? What does the police do? Where were you last night? Huh?
In the temple.
Did you do it? Huh?
Yes.
What happened to the bicycle? See? If you ask the right questions. What is the Bhagavad Gita? What is the Bhagavatam? Questions and answers. Questions and answers. If you learn the art of asking the right questions, you will get to the goal. Okay? So, become a master asker. What are, and not just like whole sentences, but in some words, what are the key words if you ask questions?
Inquire.
Huh?
Inquire?
Yeah, inquire, but
What are the key?
okay, we already had. We have what, we have,
What? Okay.
we have why,
Who?
who,
When?
when,
Where? How?
how,
WH plus.
where, What's the first question to ask? This is strategic planning. You have to have a line of thought. You have to have a sequence.
Why?
Why? What does why define?
The
The
goal.
purpose behind
The
it.
purpose, exactly. And purpose is your driving force. Like many times people ask me, you're a white guy, why are you doing this Hindu thing? You know? And it's a plausible question, right? And I'll answer it differently depending on the audience. If it's Desis, if it's Indians, I tell them rasam. Do you know rasam? Do you like rasam? Yeah? You know what rasam is? It's a South Indian soup. It's like a dal with a lot of vegetables, a lot of spices. It's really tasty. It's really nice. So why? Because I like it, because it gives me good taste. And nobody can argue with taste. Have you noticed? If people ask you why you're doing this, you say, because I like to. And that's good enough. That's good enough of a reason. If you have a Western audience, what would you tell people? Why are you doing this? What's your purpose? Makes you think a little bit, right? This will be your homework for today.
It goes to help you, it's going to help you.
This will be your homework for today. You write down your 108 reasons why you want to do what you do. Okay, 108 sounds a little scary. At least 5. I want to know your 5 burning reasons. In French it's called la raison d'être. Now I know you speak French, but for the rest of you, la raison d'être doesn't just mean the reason to be, but it means what's your purpose, what's your drive, what gets you out of bed, if you get out of bed. Do you get out of bed? Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes not. Have you noticed that if you have a reason, it's easier to get out of bed?
Yeah.
You noticed, right? Yeah, so find your reason, and all you'll do is play. All you'll do is having fun, all day, all week, every day of the year. But you have to find your reason. Now, there are different reasons, you know. You can say, and we'll get into it, what does Krishna want, what does Lord Chaitanya want, what does Prabhupada want, what does our Prabhupada want. But people want to know, what's your reason? Why are you here? Because mom said, or because I had nothing better to do today, or because they'll kick me out, or I won't get lunch, or, you know. Take inventory of your whys, because that's your driving force, that's your purpose, that's the engine which is actually moving you forward. Okay? Now she says, why is the first question? And it is a very important question, actually. Anyone would disagree?
Maybe I missed the context, like, is it the person who we are approaching, he's asking questions?
No. We're not there yet on the street. We're still here in the classroom. We're doing project management. We're trying to figure out how to successfully go about our project. What's the first question you have to ask yourself?
Why we are doing this?
No, not why. Why we already have.
What we're going to do, what's our...
What? What is the project?
Yeah.
Are you clear about what you want to do? How many of you are clear about your project, about your mission? Show of hands. That's about 2.5. Thank you for your honesty.
At least.
Huh?
At least 2.5.
At least 2.5, yeah. Some may be too shy to speak up. But what is it that we're actually trying to do here? Are we trying to move product? Are we trying to make money? Are we trying to just kill time till time kills us? What are we trying to do?
Trying to obtain skills to...
Just in general, before you start any project, the first question to ask is, what is the job? Like today, I was invited to take breakfast with His Holiness Krishna Kshetra Maharaj. And it took an hour and a half to get a bowl of khichdi and a toast, or a bread. So, what was the problem? The people are capable, they're enthusiastic, they got the resources, there's prasad, everything is there, but somehow there was a gap in communication and a person didn't understand what they were actually supposed to be doing. The job wasn't really clear. Have you ever done the wrong homework? Has this ever happened to you? How did it feel like? Kind of stupid, right? And especially more stupid if you copied the wrong homework or you did the wrong assignment. Just because you weren't really clear. Sometimes you tell something to someone and before they really listen and understand, they run away. Leadership. Before you send off anyone on a mission, make sure that those people tell you back what is it that they're going to do right now. Okay? You can write that down. Before you send anyone on a mission, have them restate what it is that they're going to do right now. Just so that you hear it, Otherwise you have like the Telefonspiel. You do like what do you call it in English? You tell somebody something, he tells it to someone, and you tell it around the circle. And at the end, everybody laughs hilariously.
Broken phones?
Broken phone, yeah.
Broken telephone?
Yeah, broken telephone. Have you ever done that game?
Mm-hmm.
It's really funny what comes out. And it's not like parampara, it's like people really come out with some wild and crazy stuff. Just because they misheard, they had their own noise in their head, and they didn't really understand. So what is it that we're trying to do here? It's important. Because some people have different ideas. Like, if you tell book distribution, what do you understand on the book distribution? That you just go and you just distribute books, right? One time at a concert in the US, I had a big stack of boxes of books that I was distributing, and I went to take a break, drank some water, chanted Gayatri, went to the restroom, and I came back, and there was a young boy there, and he had opened the box, and he was just handing out the books to all the people who walked by. And he was super on fire, he was totally enthusiastic. Did he do book distribution? Yes! Yes! He distributed a lot of books. But he did it in his way, what he thought needed to be done, like he was just enthusiastic. He thought there's a whole bunch of stuff here and let's give these out to people. And I was very happy to see that. But some aspects were not really so clear, like how does he, choose his prospects, and how does he converse with people, and he's not getting any donations for the books, he's just passing them out like that. So you have to really work on the what. You have to be really clear. I just heard a lecture from Prabhu from the UK. He said that his daughter, Janavi, who is now living in California, in Palo Alto, Palo Alto is Facebook town. The city is owned by Facebook. You heard of Facebook? No, you don't do social media, right? Okay, good. You're relieved of that. So she met Zuckerberg, the owner of Facebook. What would you do if you'd had a billionaire and you're in the elevator with the billionaire? Like I think you did the mind exercise with Maharaj about if you would get $1 million, right?
Mm-hmm.
Was that interesting?
Yeah.
Mhm.
You also realize that $1 million is not enough, right? Because you want to do big things, and the $1 million doesn't even get you a house in Munich, It's just not going very far. But what if you're in an elevator with a billionaire, and you go into the top floor, and you have 21 seconds? What would you tell that person about your project, about your mission? You think now it's just a mind exercise, but I guarantee you this situation will arise where people tell you, you got 21 seconds. And it may be Shark Tank, it may be, but it can also be in real life. A friend of mine, Narayan Pandit from Croatia, he lived in Shanghai, biggest train station, one of the biggest cities on the planet, over 30 million people. And that train station is CCTV, surveillance, cameras, microphones. There's police, undercover, army. He got arrested several times. They asked him, what are you doing here? Because religious books in China is completely illegal, completely unheard of, communist country. So he said, I have a Chinese wife, I have children, I need to make money. Where'd you get the books from? I bought them on the market and I'm selling them here. I have kids, I need to go pay my bills. And they said, okay, all right, get lost, but don't do it again. And so One man came and asked him, "What are you doing here?" And he said, "I'm trying to share this wisdom with the people of China who formerly had such a great culture and were so much spiritual, and now everybody's just after money and there's so much corruption and pollution." And the man said, "Can I see this book?" So he showed him one of Prabhupada's books, and the man went through it and looked at it and read samples, and he said, "So okay, so how do you want to do this? How do you want to share this culture with the Chinese people? What's your plan? What is your plan?" And he said, "My plan is I want to put a full set of these books into every university library." The man said, "Okay, all right. How much is a set?" He said, "A set is $500. It's very high quality printing in China." So then the man handed him a bag of 500 times 100. How much is that? 50,000, thank you. Not in numbers right now. A bag of $50,000 and said, "Here, this is for 100 sets." He just gave him a handbag with $50,000. The devotee went and he placed 100 sets in different university libraries. And he took pictures with the librarian with the sets, and he collected the receipts for the shipping and everything. And he went back to that man and showed him all the pictures and all the acknowledgements and all the receipts. And the man was so inspired and so touched by his accountability, by his transparency, that he said, "Okay, I'll sponsor another 100 sets for Taiwan, another 100 sets for Hong Kong, another 100 sets for this province." He sponsored 800 sets and paid $400,000 for books. Why? Because the devotee knew how to communicate what was his mission, what was his project. So spend a little time on this. What is my project? What is my mission? And feel free to upgrade this regularly, okay? It's not good enough to just say, spread the Sankirtan movement. Yeah, how are you going to do this? You know, like which aspect of it? Like, what do you want to communicate? You know, like you're on the street, you were saying people, they don't want to listen to you, they don't want to pay attention.
Yeah, they just go away.
They just go away.
Yeah.
You go up to them and you say, "You know, there was a king and he got cursed to die in 7 days, and hey, no, stay, I want to tell you a little story here." You know, you ever been in such a situation? People don't want to hear you out, they don't want to hear the whole thing. So what do you have to do in such a situation? You can go and grab them, you can tackle them, and jump on them. What do you have to do? Now, what is the most powerful punctuation mark in any language of the world?
Exclamation. Okay.
You say exclamation.
She said exclamation, I said period. Like
Exclamation mark means you scream and you make a lot of noise, right? Have you ever seen people standing on a box or on a chair or something and screaming and yelling into a microphone and yelling at people? You have seen that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Do people like it?
No.
Do people listen to it?
I think we're mad.
They think you're mad, right? Another idiot, another muggle, another religious fanatic. I see it on every campus. And I'm always tempted to go up to that guy and say, "Look, I understand you have a very important message, but the way you're trying to communicate it is not working. It has not worked, it does not work, and it will not work." But then I catch myself, because there is only one way how to deal with fanatics. How do you deal with fanatics? Have you ever met a fanatic?
Yes.
Outside?
How do you deal with fanatics? And I don't care if you're a Christian or a Muslim or a Hindu or a Hare Krishna. If you're born again, if you're a fanatic, you're a fanatic. There's only one way how to deal with fanatics. How?
Just go away.
Yeah.
Meet them 5 years later.
You don't deal with fanatics. You just avoid them. Because it's a waste of time. It's a waste of energy. Okay? So you can write that down. Don't deal with fanatics. I just saved you 3 years of your life. So don't get into You know keyboard warriors? Have you ever seen keyboard warriors? People who fight rage wars on keyboards, like on social media and stuff. You have seen? Yeah? So I just saved you 3 years of your life, okay? So don't get into this kind of game. It's a waste of time. Just leave it be. Okay, he says that being louder is powerful.
I think the comma, because then you kind of catch the people that you're not finished with what you're saying, but you kind of say something, and then they know that you have something more to say, so they're curious. They want to know more.
Okay.
Question mark. Because they like to talk about themselves.
Okay.
I would also say question mark, because if you make a person think, then they're interested by themselves and go from their side deeper into
Excuse me. That was good. So, I felt it coming. So, anyone else? Work with me, people.
Question.
Question mark? How does a question mark look like?
Like a hook.
Do you like to hook people? Do you want to get people hooked on your project, on your idea? Yeah? Absolutely, right? Yeah, so become a master asker, and people will be hooked, and they will be spellbound, and they will eat out of the palm of your hand if you just learn the art of asking the right questions. We're getting more into this just in a minute. This is just opening stuff up, okay? So, question. What's the next one? After what?
How?
How? You know, people on the GBC, the leaders, they were asking me, why do you need 5 days to explain how to distribute books? It's very easy, you know. You don't need 5 days to explain how to sell a product. It's not difficult. And people always think that a seminar is about the how. Have you noticed?
Yeah.
They always think it's about the how. Is it about the how?
No.
Why not?
Because how it's a very secondary thing.
What is the primary?
I would say why.
Yes.
There has to be purpose.
Why? The purpose. Correct. And we already went into the why, because she brought it up. And why is your driving force? It's your purpose. It's your motor. It's your engine. So you already know what you want to do and why. What's the next one?
How you are going to do?
How are you going to do it? Yes. And there is subcategories to the how, and that's these here.
Who are your audience?
Who, which means not only your audience, but also it means your team, the people who are going to work with you, you know, and then when, where, etc. You can get into details, but basically you have these three: 1, 2, 3. That's how it works. Project management, okay? Most projects don't get done because this is not being followed. Because you immediately jump to the how. Like, if I were to write that was it. That was it. What's wrong here?
Order.
The order, the sequence. What is the proper order? What's
Aim first.
Shoot and fire.
aim?
Shoot and fire.
Yeah. Have you ever done it like that? Action! And then who? What? It's too late, right? You already jumped the gun. You already gone into, and you already start doing crazy stuff, telling crazy things, and people get confused. stuff goes sideways, people lose faith, they lose hope, or what kind of a leader are you? What's going on here anyway? I'm going away. I'm going to go do something else. It happens all the time. So please spend enough time on this and you will be more successful. All right. Any questions on this or any of the stuff that we discussed so far? Are you okay? By the way, you're allowed to bring your own water, otherwise there's water out there, there's restrooms, you need to stand up, feel free, okay? We got a break in the morning and a break in the afternoon. I try to make it more lively and participatory to keep you awake. I know you've been working hard. Okay, so we're moving on. We don't have blue tags, so we can't post these up, but I'm sure you took notes and you got the idea. Now, the why you're doing what you're doing, this may change over time. This may change over time, because as we go through life, our perspectives, our values, our insights, they may hopefully evolve. Like I remember when I started out distributing books, I just knew that I need to get these books out, you know. And I didn't take no for an answer. And it was just shoot anything that moves. Just get the job done. And after a while, you have a little bit more context and a little bit more perspective. But you have to work with who you got, and that's mostly yourself. And that means you have to start somewhere. So progress over perfection. Can you write that down? Progress over perfection. What does that mean? Can somebody unpack it? Can you explain what progress over perfection means? Are you a perfectionist? Yeah? Do you sometimes suffer from that? Yeah? So how would you describe progress over perfection? How that could help you to overcome your perfectionism?
Well, so often I'm not satisfied with the baby steps we make.
You feel you're not going anywhere because it's too much time spent on planning and analyzing and getting it all right.
Like Vaisheshika Prabhu has this page, VSH page by page.
Yeah.
Right? And somehow we want to finish the whole Bhagavatam in one day or something.
In one day.
But that, I mean, in a very short period. But that's not really the way. The way is we go gradually every day, a little bit, baby steps. And I guess it will be the same for whatever, being a pure devotee or distributing a million book. It's difficult to do it also.
Thank you for your honesty. You remember how we were all pure devotees in our first few weeks of Krishna consciousness? You remember? You know, I used to go out on the street and tell people, I was 15 years old, you know, I just successfully quit school and broke the heart of my mother and made her cry and made her sign my release papers so I could go and join the Hare Krishnas. And I went out on the street and I told people, I'm a monk. And people looked at me and they said, does your mom know that you're here? You know, cops would pick me up and bring me to the station and have me call my mother, you know. Lucky she didn't pick up. So then I thought, okay, maybe I'm not there yet. Okay, maybe I'm not a monk yet. All right. So I told people, I'm a student. And they looked at me and they said, yeah, okay, he's a student. Yeah, I get it. Let's help the kid, you know? What do you want? Well, can you take this and give me a donut? Yeah, I can do that. You know, I like to help you. Why? Because you have to be real. You have to keep it real. I was in an Uber in a privately owned taxi in Panama, and the car was so broken and destroyed, you wouldn't believe it. And the person who was driving it was trying to tell me that I'm an entrepreneur, I got a clothing label and a record company, and I'm coming out of a perfume. And I was tempted to tell him, dude, your car is a mess, like it's a wreck, you know, and you're an entrepreneur. So keep it real. You can write that down. Keep it real. And you be you. You can't be me. You can't be her or him, but you can be you, right? Is that possible? Can you do that? All the other positions are already taken. So you just be you. And that'd be perfect. Why? Because Krishna made us this way and he loves us this way. So don't try to imitate. There's anukara and anusara. Anukara means that you imitate. And you try to, look cool and, and act cool. But anusara means to follow in the footsteps. It also means to actually extract the essence. Sara is the essence, sar. So extracting the essence and applying that into our own lives. That means we have to internalize it. We have to digest it. And then it's much more authentic and much more convincing. Okay. So moving on. At one time I was in Mexico, in Guanajuato. Really nice center of town, beautiful. There was an elderly, very aristocratic person. He wore a three-piece suit. You know what a three-piece suit is? That's like the pants, the nice shirt, then the jacket, the tie, and an outer jacket, and he wore rings, a hat, gold watch, nice shoes, a cane, and he had a handlebar mustache. You know what a handlebar mustache is? Like this. Like Salvador Dali, like this. And before I could say one word to him, he asked me, "What are you trying to do?" I was a little shocked because this person looked like he's either a politician or a businessman or a lawyer but somebody very, very high up. So what I'm going to tell him? What do you do when you don't know what to do? Have you ever been in such a situation? Has this ever happened to you?
Yes.
Or is it just me? So what do you do?
Improvise.
Improvise. How do you improvise? Okay, I'm giving you some tips, okay? If somebody asks you, what are you trying to do? Then you can just rephrase the question. You say, that is a very good question. What do you mean by that? You make them explain it, So in this way you buy time. Because time is essential. Time is essential. But sometimes, like I step on a flight, like I flew from Kolkata to Mumbai, to London, to Dallas, to Santiago, to Punta Arenas. You know where Punta Arenas is? This is South Chile, Tierra del Fuego. This is where you take the boat to Antarctica in 2.5 days. And when you step off the flight and the immigration guy asks you, "Where are you coming from?" And you go like, that's the wrong answer. So you have to have an answer. So what do you say when you don't know what to say?
It's a very good answer. Very good question.
Very good question.
Yeah.
And inside your mind, you say, Krishna, I need a miracle right now. I need a miracle right now. Because I don't want to go in line 5 and waste another hour by being grilled, So you just say a little prayer to Krishna and say, Krishna, if I've ever been a good boy, if I've ever chanted your name, if I've ever done anything that pleased you, please take all my bhakti points. You get bhakti points when you do devotional service? You can trade them in for free parking places or for pizza, or for whatever. So I'm ready to trade in all my bhakti points just to survive this moment. And so I told the man, I'm trying to develop introspection and humility through selfless service. And he said, introspection and humility through selfless service. Introspection and humility through selfless service. He said it twice. He said, how much? How much you want? I couldn't distribute a book to him. There was nothing I could say that would have impressed him. But Krishna just gave me the intuition to say what he needed to hear. And Krishna impressed him, because Krishna can impress anybody. So you will see that if you take that leap of faith, and that's the whole fun of Sankirtan, that you become a partner in Krishna's Sankirtan pastime. And you see Krishna doing the magic. You see Krishna giving you ideas, giving you words, making you do and say things that you didn't know that you were capable of. Have you been in situations like that? Where you felt like I'm acting above my pay grade, above my capacity? And it was really fun, because you could see that I can just take this leap of faith and Krishna will just carry me. That is the Sankirtan pastime of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. All right, we're moving forward. If you have questions, feel free to ask. How are we doing time-wise?
11:27.
Okay, 11:27, be gone for an hour. Do you need a break right now, or you want to go for another half hour? How do you feel?
Half hour.
Half more.
Half hour, okay, we take the break at 12 sharp. And we'll have our Gayatri break then. Okay,
I have a question.
yes.
Sorry. If Krishna doesn't empower you and doesn't make the miracle happen, do you think that, okay, I didn't pray hard enough, or is it also Krishna's arrangement?
It's Krishna's arrangement.
Wow, okay.
It's Krishna's arrangement. Sometimes we're just not ready. Sometimes we just have to see, look, I didn't really prepare. I wasn't in the right state. Like sometimes you just didn't do your homework. And so stuff doesn't happen the way you want it to happen. And you just have to go back to the drawing board and prepare a little more. Every endeavor is a pinch of inspiration, a ton of perspiration, and a little bit of, what's the last element? Huh? Inspiration, perspiration, and desperation. Just a pinch, not a ton, okay? But you have to start out with inspiration. What inspires you? Why are you here? What keeps you moving forward? Okay, some might say, I'm a Desi, I'm a Gurukuli, I'm a Brahmachari, okay, I'm supposed to do this. Sorry, that's not good enough of a reason. That doesn't do it for me, okay? Because I come from a different background, from a different mindset, from a different stratosphere of the galaxy, and what you just told me doesn't resonate with me at all. So don't talk about your grandmother, don't talk about your religion or your dharma, don't talk about that, your economic anxiety. Give me something that really hits the mark, that really hits the target. So that's the stuff I would like you to work on, to write it down. Okay? I was in Bali, and a friend of mine, they own shops and hotels, etc., etc. He just went out and he tells people, I was a drunk and a womanizer, yet this book changed my way of life. And as it has changed my way of life, I think it could help other people as well. And because he was honest, he was just sincere. He just said, look, this is me, and I'm not trying to sell you something or preach something to you or convert to you, but this has helped me. And that's why I'd like to share it with others. And people say, yeah, okay, sure, fair enough. Why not? Okay? All right, so what is it that we're trying to do? Now, I'm sure you have your projects, your ideas, the things that you want to do and accomplish in life. Right now, what is it that we're trying to do? Can you help me?
But right now, do you mean now in this seminar? Or?
Yeah, in this seminar, right now. Are we trying to tell you a few cool stories and a few tricks so you can make a few bucks? No? Then what are you trying to do? Yes, yeah.
Inspire people to take the book.
Inspire people to take the book? That's it?
Inspire us.
Inspire ourselves? Are you inspired?
Consistently doing this seva.
Are you inspired? Before you go out of the room, look into the mirror and ask yourself, would I like to meet this person? Would I want to take something from this person? If not, why not? What do I have to change? Okay? So, what are we trying to do? We're trying to engage people in the Sankirtan movement of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and that means, first of all, I have to engage myself in this mission. Because how can I expect people to do something that I'm not doing? Like if I go around and tell people, hey you, take this, it's good for you, make you happy, take it, make you happy. You ever seen devotees do that? Yeah? Have you ever done it? Yeah? Don't do this to people, okay? I hate it. I hate seeing it. I even hate talking about it. Don't go up to people and put something in their face. There was this cartoon, you know, of like, it was the airport days, of like a businessman and a devotee. Then the next picture, the guy, there is a cloud of smoke, and you know, poof, paf, bang, you know, all that. And then the third picture, you have the guy with a book in his mouth, you know, like, book down his throat, you know, like this. And the devotee's walking away counting the cash, you know. And there was some, you know, in every joke, there is some point of truth and some point of fantasy. But we should learn. Because everyone is sensitive. They may be sensitive in a different part of their body, but everyone is sensitive to some degree, okay? So don't do to people what you don't like people doing to you, okay? It's just the basic ground rule in any sphere.
But I heard that sometimes looking at some picture may stop them so that you can speak and...
And there's many things that can stop them, but I'm just saying as a general way, take that as a rule of thumb. So, what are we trying to do? We're trying to engage in the Sankirtan movement of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Why? Because it's the Yuga Dharma. It's what the process that works for this age. It's not deity worship, it's not fire sacrifice, it's not yoga meditation, it's not study, it's not austerity. It's what? What's the Yuga Dharma?
Sankirtan.
Are you sure? Last time we checked? Yes. Okay. So, if you can find your place in the mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Sankirtan movement, your project will be successful. I guarantee you. But if it's something that has nothing to do or that's contrary, then most likely it will be a whole lot of work. And even if it is successful, the point is, what's the big deal? You know, making and spending a few million. No big deal, nothing to write home about. We want to be connected to the Sankirtan movement of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So, and that prerequisites that I myself am connected to the Sankirtan movement. You remember the 4 laws of book distribution by Sheshika Prabhu? What are the 4 laws? Rule number 1?
Get books.
Nope. Nope. Okay, second try.
The sadhana must be strong.
Strong sadhana. This one's gone also. These 2 are also gone. What does strong sadhana means? Sarirat vidyajam chodendriya karika.
Doing our homework properly.
Huh?
Doing our homework properly.
What does strong sadhana mean for you? Work with me.
Regularly, and I think with some taste, otherwise...
Regularly with taste. What else?
That basically.
Chanting very attentively.
Chanting attentively.
Chanting 6
When? At midnight?
Brahma Muhurta.
Brahma Muhurta. Whoa, scary stuff. What, you asked me to get up before the sun gets out? Woo, you're pushing it, man. What else?
Reading and understanding Srila Prabhupada's books.
Reading and understanding Prabhupada's books. What else? What does sadhana mean for you? I mean, come on, we're working on this all together here. So, hearing attentively. What is sadhana for you?
Having a sincere connection with Krishna.
Connection with Krishna, prayer,
Reaching a goal, or
having targets, having something you want to...
Following the instructions.
Following the instructions, yes. Okay, strong sadhana. It's also called inspirational sadhana, because it's supposed to be inspiring. And remember, I can't ask people to read books if I'm not reading the books. Huh? say, hey, this will make you happy, take it. And then people say, whoa, if I read this book, I'll become like you. You know, my life was good before I met you, but now I don't. You know, and we have all met people like that. So ask yourself, am I really being exemplary? Am I really giving the right proper example here? Okay? So don't be a hypocrite. Nowadays people are not patient, they're not tolerant, they're not studious, but they watch very closely. They don't hear very well, but they watch very closely. Have you noticed how virtual the world is? How much it is about just imagery, just perception? Very much so. So, people will object when they see, and every time, I guarantee you, every time before they actually give you the money, they will look at the book, and they will look at you, and look at the book, and look at you, and if the two don't match, it's a no-go. Have you noticed? But if the two match, oh yeah, you do this, okay, this looks nice, yeah, sure, I'll give you something. So they always do this to double check. Like, is your story for real, or you're just trying to bullshit me and screw some money out of me? That's there in whatever project you're trying to do, whatever message you're trying to communicate, people want to know, are you for real? Are you authentic? And it's not enough to have a badge or a permit or a company or an office. That doesn't legitimize your operation. You have to actually prove it by your own personal example. Okay? So, what comes after strong sadhana?
Get books.
Why?
Without books we cannot distribute.
It has been proven, we have done studies in many universities of the world that you can't distribute books that you don't have. Okay? So get books. They are available in every center and otherwise from the BBT. So get books. Carry books with you at all times. People will ask you, oh, you Krishna eat? You Hare Krishna? You have Bhagavad Gita? And you go, no. Now it's okay to feel stupid, but it's not okay to look stupid. So carry a book, and Krishna will make the arrangement to send you people. You know, sometimes people are just there and they're like, you have something for me? Do you want to talk to me? Come here, talk to me. I was in New York at Columbus Circle, just in front of, what's that big park called? Central Park. And they had a row of elderly in wheelchairs with their caretakers. So we did Harinam, we distributed books, and at some point I thought, you know, let's try a few different things. So I went over to one lady. She looked like around 90. She had perfectly manicured hair, her nails, her rings, her dress, everything was high class, super fancy. I went up to her, just greeted her, put a book in her hand. Her caretaker was very hostile, she wasn't into it. And the lady told her caretaker, give him $5. And she was shocked. So she paid me the money, the lady had the book, and at the end she said, thank you for coming over and talking to me. What she didn't say was, nobody comes and talks to people like me. Yeah. Now I was thinking, a few afternoons ago, this was a beautiful, gorgeous lady. And now, people don't even want to look her way, because time has taken it all away. So if you can give people attention, they will eat out of the palm of your hand. Learn the art of giving people attention and appreciation. I was sitting with Vaisheshika Prabhu, one of my mentors, in Burlingame, California, at a car wash. You know what a car wash is? You know what a car wash is? It's where people wash cars. And we were sitting on the bench, other people were doing the washing of cars, because this is called capitalism, you know, you pay somebody, they do the job for you. And the lady was next to us, and Vaisheshika Prabhu turned to her And he said, "Oh, that's a nice dog. What kind of a dog is that?" And I got up and walked to the car because I knew if she answers this question, she will have to buy the book. And guess what happened? Did she like to talk about her dog? What do you think?
Yes. Oh yes.
Chances, 1 to 100. What do you think? 108. 108. She was dying to talk about her dog. What do you think? Did she buy the book?
Yes.
Absolutely, no-brainer, right? It was like a blind pass. I just went there and threw the book at him and pam 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 ba bing ba boom. You know? It was smooth. No thought. Smooth motion. Unconscious competence. Just like, you know? That's where you want to get at. But before that, you have to practice. Okay? Turn to the person next to you and appreciate them. Turn to the person next to you, or you can do it in threes on a table, and say something nice about them and appreciate them. Here, table, here. Get together. All right? Everybody appreciate each other.
Ihr seid so nice Weichmacher, Jungs. Das ist wirklich unglaublich, hier mit euch zusammen zu sitzen. Im Sankirtan ist das nicht ekstatisch. Ich könnte mir kein besseres Team vorstellen.
Schleimbier oder
Make sure everybody gets a chance to say something.
Was meinst du damit, ich soll anfangen?
Ja.
Zeitgewinn.
Er ist intelligent, er hat verstanden, was es ist.
Genau, das fängst an, weil du intelligent bist.
Okay. Ja, und sehr entschlossen in der Sankirtan-Mission und sehr enthusiastisch und inspiriert. Und ich kenne ihn nicht so gut, aber du bist immer am Lächeln und immer gütig zu den Devotees.
Did everybody get a chance? Okay, stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it. It feels terrible, right? Right? It feels terrible, right? You can't stand it, right? You don't like it when people say something nice about you, right? No? No? Did you like it?
Yes.
Yes. So why don't you do it? Why don't you do it? Just do it. That's all that Sankirtan is. Just going out, appreciating people. That's all it is. It's just appreciating people. Even if there is nothing there that you think that is worthwhile noticing, if you just tell people. Once I was in Vevey, which is the headquarters of Nestle. Have you heard of Nestle?
Yeah.
Biggest food corporation in the world. Their goal, you know what their goal is? They want to sell 1 billion products. That's 1,000 million. 1 billion products a day. That's their goal. That's their target.
Let's go.
So, I was there in a parking lot. It was December marathon, and it was raining snow, you know? It's called slop. Wet snow, and the wind was blowing crazy. It was a big parking lot on the lake with about 1,000 something cars. And I was just running from car to car and knocking on the window and saying, "Hello! What a beautiful day today! Thanks for being out here today!" And people were like, "Who's this crazy guy? What's going on here?" And they just opened a little bit, you know, because it's raining snow. I just had to let go of the umbrella, and I just slid the book inside and I said, "Thanks for being out here today. What a nice day. For all the nice people today. We're giving out these wonderful books, and you can help with a small donation." And I distributed 300 books in I don't know, it was 8 or 9 hours. I was soaked, wet, dripping. There was not one thread that was dry. But why the books went out? Because I just appreciated people. Because it wasn't the time to talk big philosophy. It was just a different type of ballgame. So learn the art of appreciating people, and everybody wants to know, who are you? What is it that makes you you? What you got for me? What brought you to this state that you can just open your heart and be with people and not have any prejudice? Because sometimes we look at the world and the people in it and we think, nah, that one, no. You don't want this, right? Oh, you don't want this, huh? Oh, no. nah, that one, nah. All demons, they're all demons. I knew it, they're all demons. Does this sound familiar?
Yes.
Huh? You ever had that kind of scenario?
Yeah.
And the same goes for whatever project. If you have that preconceived notion, nobody's interested, nobody wants to hear what I got to say, nobody will appreciate. No. So change your game. Just go out and appreciate other people. And guess what? They will pay you back in the same currency. If you send out fear and prejudice and hate or anger, then that's what you're going to get back. Because it's instant karma. If you say it, you're right back. But if you put out appreciation, love, kindness, I guarantee you, people will pay you back in the same currency. Now, it may not always come in the way that you expected. Like one time I was in a parking lot on a concert. There was a man with 5 kids. 5? I think there's only 4 seats. Besides the driver. Okay, 4 kids. And they were really rambunctious teenagers. They wanted to go to the concert. So I showed them books on yoga meditations. We're monks. Please give a donation. And he was like, damage control. You know how parents are sometimes? Yeah? So the kids were just going wild, screaming, jumping out of the car. 10 minutes later, one of the kids came up to me. He searched me out on the parking lot. And he brought a big tray with cut up fruit, mango, strawberry, guava, pineapple, papaya, all first-class fruits, cherries, strawberries. And he said, you said you're a monk? This is from God's garden with love for you. And he gave me the whole tray. And I said, this is from God's mouth, with love for you. And it was just an exchange of love. That's what Sankirtan is. Would you like to do that?
Yes.
Would you like to do that?
Yes!
Well then, thank you. Do it, okay? So that's where we want to go. But initially, it may not always start out like that. So we're going to talk a little bit about the approach and all that stuff. We'll do that after the break. Okay, you got to get books. You got to have books, okay? At least have a Gita and a few small books. In your car, in your bag, in your home, at your office. And even if you go walk your dog. During COVID, they asked me to cook for the deities in Mountain View, California. Shishirada Madan Mohan. And they said, just cook khichdi. And I said, how can I just cook khichdi for my Lord, So I cooked for 5 weeks. Cooked a feast for them every day. And then I bagged a few boxes and I walked around, even though I wasn't supposed to do that. But I walked around and went to different devotees' homes and just brought them Mahaprasad and distributed a few boxes for homeless people. And I went on my walk because legs are meant to walk. So I just went for my walk. And I just carried 5 or 10 small books with me. And every day I distributed 5 or 10 small books without even trying. How? Any person who walked past me, I just smiled at them and I said, Hare Krishna. And some went, and walked the other way. And others, they were like, Hare Krishna, do you have something for me? And I was like, yeah, here, this is for you. And if you like, you can give a donation. And I didn't even go on Sankirtan, and I distributed 10 books every day. Can you do that?
Yes.
Yes.
So why don't you do it? Just carry books with you, and wherever you might be, in the bank, at the post office, at the market, at the job, or just on your walk, just carry books, and Krishna will make the arrangement. He will bring people your way, okay? In this way, we can expand the Sankirtan. Okay, get books. What's the next one? I know you know, but we want to hear from the audience. These are the 4 laws of book distribution. What's the next sequence? Sadhana strong, you got the books.
The more you...
The more you...
show, the more you sell.
We were in Munich for Harinam, and what was that? Siegestor? The
Isar-Tor.
Huh?
Isar-Tor. Isar-Tor.
Isar-Tor. And there were 2 fruit stalls there. How did they look like? You remember? At
Yeah.
the Isaac Torah?
Mhm.
The lady was on one side, the guy was on the other side. It was a huge fruit stand, the length of this classroom. And was everything boxed up and covered and hidden?
No,
No.
everything was open there.
Everything was open, right?
Yeah.
Everything was on display.
Yeah.
So the more you show, the more you sell. So just put it out there, make it visible. Put it out, like up here, you got these books, you just put a pallet of books, just make it visible. And believe it or not, people will sell. They will come and want to buy it, but they have to be visible. How many temples and centers have you seen where the books were not visible? Too many, right? Books are not there, books are non-existent. There's no book display. You can have just a book table and an honor system, people put money in the box and take a book. And it's even better, you can't see these books. Do you notice how you can't see these books? But if you actually have a book rack where you can stack the books like this, then they're very much visible. So, a business without a sign is a sign of no business. You can write that down. A business without a sign is a sign of no business. If people ask you, where's your business card? Where's your Instagram? Where's your website? What's your phone number? What's your, and you say, oh, I don't do any of that stuff. That might work if you're just a traveling preacher, but you still should have a QR code or something to connect people, okay? You gotta have a sign. And then rule number 4.
Get organized.
Yes, get organized. You can distribute a few books just by going on a walk, but you can distribute a ton of books by being organized.
Can you elaborate on that point?
Get organized?
Can you elaborate on that point?
Of the 4th one or which one? Yeah, for instance, you have jobs, you have family, you have chores in the house. Time is less. But somehow you manage to be here. Somehow. Why? If you want to get something done, ask a busy person. You are busy people. You're working jobs, you have family, you have responsibility, but you make time because you consider it important. So, you want to expand. At some point you realize that this project might be bigger than I can do by myself. Have you noticed? Have you noticed? There's 8 billion people in the world, 100 million in Germany. Sociologists have proven that you can only interact with 150 people productively. I don't talk about your 5,000 non-existing followers on social media. I'm talking about productively engaging and interacting with people. You cannot work with more than 150 people. So, Jesus had how many disciples? 1 million? 10 million? 1 billion? Any good Christians here? I know you're all Hare Krishnas, but 12, yes. And not all of them were good. Some were not so great, and some were terrible. And 2 or 3 were okay, 1 or 2 actually did something. Now Christianity, biggest religion on the planet, okay, took 2,000 years. It took 355 years for them to even get organized and ready to get their head around, what are we doing here? So get organized. That means you have to see, what is my project? Who do I want to do it with? And one thing, don't get people into your project who you don't want to spend a lot of time with, okay? Do yourself the favor. Now, it's a big mission. Some people are just not compatible. And, okay, you can grow and become very tolerant and very patient, but if you have to work closely with people, like we have seen in a Sankirtan band, the chemistry has to be right. The people have to be aligned in the right way. Otherwise, it's contrary, and they just go on their nerves. Do you ever have people who go on your nerves? Does this ever happen to you? Or is it just me? Huh?
Always happens with the managers.
Always happens, right? Always happens. So then, you just have to organize it in such a way that you don't have to go on confrontational course, that, you know, separate bedrooms, separate bathrooms, just, you know, meet occasionally and just be nice. That works, right? So, that's all part of organization. There are whole seminars about this, about how to get organized, and we will touch on certain points, but we got 3 minutes, so any questions, reflections on this? Then we go for a break for 15 minutes, Gayatri, bathroom, water, whatever, and then we get back and we start to get into the mechanics of how to catch people's attention, how to stop them, how to get them to take a book, what is the right course of dialogue and questions, and how to wrap it all up and get a donation. How does this sound?
Very good.
Amazing.
Like, you cannot read every book, yeah. So sometimes if you are distributing books that you didn't read, then if they ask something about the book.
Okay, question on the floor here, and we need your help here, because I'm not going to do all the talking. They don't pay me enough money to do all the talking. And I do plenty of talking, believe me. Prabhu was saying, can you distribute books that you have not read, that you didn't read yet? Can you do that?
Yes. Yes.
Why do you say yes with such a confidence?
Because it's a lot of experience.
Huh?
Out of own experience.
Out of own experience? Why else?
I know the essence.
You know the essence. What else?
I have faith.
Both? You have faith that the process works. Can a pharmacist sell medicine that he has not tried himself?
Yes, of course. Yeah.
Yes, of course. Why? Because you know this stuff works.
Yeah.
It's a good product. It's a good company. Now, of course, if you're selling sports shoes and you say, look, I got 3 pairs of those. They're great, you know. I've been using them every day of the week. Then the kid goes, oh, he's got 3 of them. I should also get 1 pair of them. Yeah, okay, right. So that's convincing, you know, for a kid. But you know that the process works. Okay? You may not know all the answers, and it's okay. Just tell people, look, I'm new at this. I haven't read all of this. But what I have read, I like it. That's honesty. That's convincing. Don't tell people more than you know.
And also, Prabhu, I mean, you cannot sell, I mean, you cannot distribute Chaitanya Charitamrita. Identify the audience. For example, devotees who are practicing, for them you can say take Srimad Bhagavatam and Charitamrita. I mean,
You can also give it to new people. It's not a problem. Absolutely.
And small books and Bhagavad Gita normally take.
Depends on their capacity. We'll get to that. Who's your audience? We'll put that in the parking lot. You know we have a parking lot here? Okay. Remind me, I just put it down. We'll talk about audience, okay? Thank you for your kind participation. We'll be back here at 12:15. Right.
Questions, we'll take them later, but I